What's up, y'all? It's a quick video. Um, this one's gonna be about separation versus unity, and oftentimes, we get distracted and kind of just disconnected, and we need to be woken up essentially because, if you're tuned into yourself and nature, you're gonna realize the same things that are universal, which is that we're all connected. Our souls, our spirits, and it's so much deeper than just like even that. Like there's a lot going on. There's different layers and different parts of what I'm trying to explain is the unity of we are all connected. The animals, the bugs, people, aliens, everything. Um, so uh, essentially what it's about is understanding the power in peace. It's something universally that we all want. We all want peace, love, and happiness, and all of these things, right? We want certain things. We want abundance. We want prosperity. We want health. We want so many things that are good, and we all want these things, right? Because everyone can agree on this. So what makes you believe that the animals don't? What makes you think the beating hearts of those animals don't want the same things? They don't want peace. They don't want love. They don't want to live. Of course they do, right? So when you see sentient, peaceful creatures, and instead of showing them love and compassion, you show them fear and hate. For whatever ill, sick reason, enough to kill them and eat them. And what you need to understand is, I hope this video reaches out to someone who's in charge of making the laws in this world, or something like that, or in some sort, and people connected to that who can make animal rights, go. I don't know how all that works right now, but overnight, because what you need to understand is the murder of a human is the same as a murder of an animal. So if you're gonna, imprison someone for life for murdering a person, then you ought to do that to someone who's gonna do that to a chicken. Because while they don't have the same, sentience or consciousness, they're still sentient and conscious. So you'd still give them basic rights to life. So just making sure that murder isn't happening on the planet we live in, that's a great thing. That's ensuring and enforcing the law of peace. So why not extend that to all sentient beings, because they have beating hearts like you do. They do pretty much all of the same things you do. They just don't have the same level of sentient and conscious uh, awareness, that you do, and that's okay. But you could argue saying that someone else in life has more sentient and conscious awareness. That doesn't give the right for them to kill you and harm you, right? So it doesn't really, it's like a fallen kind of universe. It's a fallen way of looking at things. Species, you're white, you're black, hey, you're Asian, you're Spanish, whatever, right? It's a fallen consciousness, because you look at people for not who they are, but you look at them for, the avatars they're in or something. This is why we have, mixed breeds of different animals and people, where, they look like lots of different things and sound like lots of different things nowadays. So that's actually, kind of getting out of that fallen uh, nature. But in essence, when you keep reincarnating and coming back down into realities like this, where it's it's survival based, it's low vibrational, and the consciousness level is low. And that's what the main issue is you're not consciously aware that that's you getting your throat slit open in a slaughterhouse right now. You don't believe or think that that's you, because you have certain religious views or whatever views that make you look at spirituality like it's something It's not like it's something in a Bible or a book someone wrote, and that's okay. You can find pieces of spirituality in there, but that doesn't mean that the entirety of reality is encompassed in that religion or that book, and your understanding is so limited based upon those things, because in a fallen universe, in a world that's fallen, all you're gonna get is people in power that are trying to send you false truths, in whatever ways they can, through books, media, whatever. The tools and devices are used on the world that you live in, and this one being this, Earth, Terra Gaia. So essentially, this video is gonna be really just trying to let you know that those are real, living, sentient, conscious, and aware beings with beating hearts. Right? We want one love. We want love. We all want love, right? We all want to have a heart. So, it's really just shifting the approach to your awareness and your consciousness, because you don't understand, or you don't see it, you don't feel it, you don't get it. You don't see that that's you. You're just saying, well, that's not me in that slaughterhouse, not my problem. But what if it was? What if it was you? So when you have that thought, that kind of gives you a deeper introspection to say, hey, I want to test this theory. What if it was me? Could it be me? Is that even possible? Then we get into the multiverse theory, and then we get into other notions of science that are actually really in tangent working with you right now in the present moment, and you don't even know it, or you may not know it. But the only way you'd ever find out is if you actually go on ahead and try this for yourself. So I'm not going to tell you something that can't be tested either. You can actually try this yourself. Imagine for a second you're right here right now, and wherever you are, and then do you remember where you were when you were 10 years ago? Now, does it seem like that's the same person? You'd be like, of course, you're right, you are the same person. But would you really say that, based upon all the things you know now and understand and the wisdoms you develop, do you really believe that you were that same exact person? Maybe you made a mistake, right? Maybe you got into a car accident. Maybe you went through something. Maybe you did something. Whatever it may be. Maybe you really just hurt someone you cared about or something accidentally because you didn't know any better. Could you say that person right there, that deserved to be loved by yourself enough to grow and evolve to the current version of you, and then the current version of you into the next version of you in the next 10 years or whatever, right? Would you say that each of those versions of yourself are basically different, different people, and essentially you wouldn't condemn yourself based upon something you didn't know or whatever, right? So it's kind of like this. What I'm trying to tell you is, it's kind of like that. If you test that right there and apply that to the same thing I just was talking about, which is, what if you were that animal in that slaughterhouse right now? Well, okay. So what if you were that chicken and you didn't know any better, and you were stuck in your lower animalistic natures, and you just needed love and compassion from beings outside of yourself to just treat you with that as such, or enough for you to realize how to do that to yourself to escape such a reality where you're forced to reincarnate as an animal in an animal body in a slaughterhouse, or as prey in the wild. One way or another, the conclusion will come to, oh, I must have been before. Or even if you weren't, What if you will be? And what if you will be to an extent where the whole reason people are reincarnating over here over and over is because they're not vegan and they're eating other beings unconsciously, unawareingly, and they actually come reborn as those chickens in those slaughterhouses and in the wild as prey because they were the ones feeding off of them. All the predators in the wild that eat those animals. What if those animals that are getting eaten by those predators, what if they were the predators? And what if the predators that are eating them right now, they're just making them they're just making the same mistake. Instead of showing love and compassion to that being that essentially descended and fell out of predation into prey, because you could argue and say predation is actually one step above a prey, because prey is actually the fallen consciousness of animalistic natures of predator. You know, predators fell into prey because they couldn't get out of their lower animalistic nature. So they started eating themselves, essentially. You know, they started eating each other, right? Cannibalism, right? So, and then that's where the serpent came in and told Adam and Eve, hey, don't eat the fruit, eat meat. Because why would a serpent eat anything other than meat? It wouldn't eat a fruit, right? So the fruit of the tree of life was actually what God gave them, and then the serpent, the devil, deceived them and told them, nah, just eat each other. So I'm learning about this as we go in the present moment. I'm giving you the truth live. This is like channeling. This is what it really is all about. What if you're that predator eating yourself, cannibalism, and then you come back as prey? Think about it. You're prey because you couldn't stop eating each other yourself, because you see yourself as separate. You don't have self-awareness. The self-awareness, maybe you didn't develop enough self-awareness to see that, hey, you are your brother, you are your sister, you are your mother, you are your father, you know? You are your son, you are your daughter. So, okay, well, why not apply that to outside of family structures as well? Why not expand the universe? Why not go outside of your small little bubble and say, hey, my neighbor's my brother. Hey, my neighbor's my daughter. Hey, my neighbor's my son. Hey, my neighbor's my father. Hey, my neighbor's my mother. Hey, my neighbor is my sister. Why not? Right? See you apply that love to your small reality, but you don't extend it. You refuse to change. You refuse to grow and evolve, so you fall. You get left behind naturally. You don't grow. You don't grow up. You know, right? You go lower and lower and lower in descent, all the way until you become the prey in that slaughterhouse. Because think about it. Why spiritually would you even be in that position, right? You must have deserved it some way or another. So, real time live, this is how I'm understanding it, and this is how I believe you can understand it too. If you stop that cycle, that loop, the infinite loop, infinite regression of fear and hate, right? Then you can save yourself and you can save others. And that right there, that's ascension. That's light. That's higher purpose. That's what you would want to call God. Because God is of growth and evolution and omniscience and everything. So if you're forever degenerating into hate, separation, ego, and fear. Ultimately, you're afraid that if you don't kill to eat, then you're gonna starve and die. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth of the matter at all. Your cells can actually adapt and change. Yeah, okay. You're gonna argue and say, "Well, no," but look at it from the spiritual way. Predators can't eat plants and live off plants, right? But look at it in the spiritual way. Do you think predators are eating predators? Do you think prey are not predators as well? It doesn't look like it, but if they're in their animalistic natures like that, what makes you think they aren't? They're so in their animalistic natures, they even lost the ability to protect themselves. Think about it. You have all of these, because I'm vegan, right? I can do everything, including protect and provide for myself. Now try to tell this to someone who's not like that. Like, what? What are you talking about? Right? It's not even gonna click or register and make sense. You know, the awareness and the consciousness, and this is not there. So, I'm taking a big approach in the present moment to the solution that currently is necessary in reality, which is, hey, in the present moment, right here, right now, there's certain truths of consciousness and awareness that once you completely, are aligned to and with, you could actually begin to create a bigger reality for yourself and others, and help to assist in change, evolution, and overall benefit and the good of all, right? This is about all of us. It's all of our decision. If we want a vegan planet, well, we all got to be vegan. It's all of our decisions to decide, hey, do we want to make this a better world? Not even just for ourselves, for the future, for the ones that will come here after. And what will that say about our karma and where we're going to go? Are we going to go to better worlds and better universes and better realities by doing such good? Because this is about a big approach, right? This is about bigger than yourself. This is outside of your ego, because you believe you're separate from your brother and sister, mother and father, son and daughter, suffering. But why do you when you automatically fall and you birth a new life onto the planet physically, you feel it. Like, you feel all the sufferings and the pains of your own daughter or your offspring or whatever. I was speaking to a lot of elders that I've been around that, my own parents. Like, so, me personally, I choose not to bring children here. Because the whole consciousness of, you know, essentially just fornicating and reproducing is animalistic, lower animalistic natures, and I'm here to transcend that. Even if you already had children or whatever, that doesn't mean you can't transcend those natures. You just have to decide for yourself that, hey, I did these things and I created this reality in front of me, and I want to change for the better, and I want to be a part of those who are doing the same. I want to be a part of the good in the world. I want to leave it a better place. I want to be on that side of history and left it off than when I came in, right? So that maybe that helps, and that's what this video is gonna be for, is to help you realize, hey, you really are that animal getting slaughtered in the slaughterhouse. So what could you have done to deserve that? Why would you be in that position right now? To really believe and understand this, right? Maybe you can find the answers that you're looking for by simply trying to put yourself in those shoes. Okay, so say you're a chicken. You can't even fly. You're pecking on seeds all day on the ground, looking out outside of yourself, trying to always stimulate yourself, trying to fill the void because you're empty, in a sense. Or you're looking for something. You're always trying to fill yourself with some sort of material or something outside of yourself because you lack something eternal. So it doesn't matter if it's a plant or a seed or a person or your own family. You might eat them, or your neighbors or your community, you know, and then all the way till you were born as something in which you couldn't even like have the capabilities to protect yourself. You abused your power. You used your talons and your sharp teeth and that witty spike forked tongue for devilish purposes. You cannibalized. You killed Cain and Abel. You killed your brother. You ate, like, it's all connected, right? Um you ate yourself because you are your brother, you are your sister. You did that. You did that to yourself. Whatever crime you committed to another, you did to yourself, right? So you did it to yourself. You chose to be born as a chicken in a predatory fallen universe, right? So you just descended further down into the evil because you thought you'd have all the power in the world forever. You were living in your ego. You were living in survival. You didn't see anything outside of yourself. You didn't see that was your brother, that was your sister, that was your mother, that was your father, that was your son, that was your daughter. You didn't have the compassion. You didn't have the love. You didn't have the awareness of the consciousness of yourself, right? All the way till you fell and your privileges were taken away from you. You're no longer capable of doing whatever it takes to protect because you didn't do that. You abuse your power, so you lose it. You actually used it to the detriment of yourself. You harmed yourself, you hurt yourself. You killed yourself, right? So when you can look into your own eyes and find that self-love and self-respect and self-humility, you know, that's love. That's God. It's you. We're all that. And that's divine. And the aliens have been trying to convince of humanity this for the longest because aliens have been trying to, the good ones have been trying to help humanity understand that they too have these powers. They too have the gift of love, light, unity. So, what's stopping you from ascending all the way? Do you feel alone? Is this video gonna help you not feel alone so much? In the next video, and then my light, and then I can help you shine your light, and you feel happy and fulfilled in life, and you feel good, and you work through your karmas, and now you can help others transcend and do the same thing. Because if we all do this together, we're all gonna be vegan, and we're all gonna decide, hey, let's stop this karma. Let's end this together. Let's help those predators and those prey evolve out of their animalistic natures and see because we already see this. People have predatory pets and then non-predatory pets, and then they get along fine. They live in a happy home. They don't eat each other and harm each other, nothing, right? Exactly. So it's the same kind of thing. you know how are you gonna convince a lion not to eat your pet lion not to eat your how are you gonna convince a pet lion not to eat you, right? So essentially what what you're doing here is working on yourself enough to say that, hey, I might have been in those natures before because I myself was ignorant. I myself was unconscious, unaware, and I didn't do this intentfully, but I developed the awareness and consciousness, and I moved forward, and I saw what I did, and I saw how I harmed and hurt, and I played along with everyone else to harm people. Like, people had to get close to me. And I didn't kill and eat, anyone care about. Obviously not. because I'm conscious and aware of that I love, so I don't want to do that to anyone. And it became like this all the way till I became vegan. So, you know, everyone has a different reason, different approach to why they do things. And essentially, being vegan is not a diet. Being vegan is a moral and ethical stance, because you believe in peace, you believe in love, you believe in good, you believe in light. Everybody wants the same things. That's because we're all the same thing. We're all one. We all have beating hearts. So hopefully this video helps. The right people, the right person, do what we need to do together to help each other go vegan, for the planet, for ourselves, for each other, for God, for the animals, because we're all one. We're all one. We're all the same thing. And based on karma, I've even done things where I was unconscious and unaware, where I say to myself, hey, I accidentally got someone I love, you know, to be in suffering. And, and, and I unintentionally did harm to them, So, and it was the world I was born into, it was the environment I was born into, it was the family I was born into, but, essentially, what did I do to deserve of being born into a family that wasn't vegan? Was it my own unconsciousness, and unawareness that manifested, family members like that around me? Or, being a reality where I had to be exposed to certain sufferings? Of course. And that's my karma, that's my work. But bigger than karma, bigger than my own work, beyond all of that, right? Because you can leave the cycle of karma as well. You transcend it, you know. There's a next level to it. That's all about unity. Is this is something I'm actively learning with you right here right now. So I'm gonna wrap up this video and say, stay tuned for the next one. We're gonna get even deeper into this, but hopefully right now this planted the right seed for the right person to hear the right thing and do the right thing, because it's not an ego thing. It's not a oh, I'm vegan so I'm a good person. Okay, but there's so much going on. There's so many levels and layers and dimensions to everything that you need to see through and beyond, past, to really break through the other side and really have the truth. It will bring you peace, the truth. Knowledge of yourself, self-love ultimately, and self-compassion. That genuine care that you have for you, and that will connect you to others, and to realize, hey, I don't want to harm. I want to make peace. I want to make amends, because that's really what you want. That's what we all want. We want to make peace. We want to make amends for our mistakes, whatever we've done wrong, everything. We want to move forward and heal and do right. And then when something aligns in our life to give us back what we sent out, no karma, no ego, full acceptance, surrender, understanding that this always had to come back to me, full circle. And this is love. Love of yourself, love of the whole self, the other that you'll be united with and to in love as well, who you hurt unconsciously, unawareingly. And there's ultimate forgiveness and redemption for you, the victims, and ultimately, this is unity, this is light, this is truth. So we'll get into it more, and make science out of it and everything. Promise. Till next time. I love you and love yourself. Peace.